It's time for the NASCO Moments radio talk show.
It's crunchy, munchy time. It's time to enjoy the nourishing goodness of NASCO cornflakes every time. NASCO cornflakes, every spoonful. NASCO cornflakes, it's so crunchy. NASCO cornflakes, every mouthful. NASCO cornflakes, you love it. NASCO cornflakes, oh yeah. NASCO cornflakes, every time.
The new look NASCO cornflakes, so crunchy, you'll love it. NASCO cornflakes, nourishing goodness every day.
Today is the 30th, the very last Saturday of August 2014, and this episode of the show also happens to be the very last of the first season. It's been an exciting time, and for those of you who have been with us since day one, you will agree that the journey has been unfolding beautifully, with week after week of exciting discussions. I am your host, Hudung Gang, and as always, today promises to deliver another exciting episode of the show. Welcome back to the NASCO Moments radio talk show, connecting audiences within and around the city of Jos. Today, we will be wrapping up the first season of the show, and we promise to bring you an interesting interaction. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll be looking at urban development, and our focus will be on the Jos Master Plan. Our guest on the show is the Director of Lands, Plateau State Minister of Lands, Survey and Town Planning. Solomon Hoomlong, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
A key aspect of urban planning and development entails the use of land for transportation and also for the design and distribution of infrastructure. In its formative years, one of the features that characterized and still typifies the development of Abuja is the vastness and complexity of the road network. Indeed, before Abuja, Nigerians who had not traveled out of the country had been strangers to multi-lane carriageways. And although this has not been widely replicated in other urban centers in Nigeria, one thing that we have seen a lot of is the upgrading of the road network within and across states. So, our first question to you, sir. From a town planning point of view, what is the strategic importance of a vast road network as it is being executed by the government of the day? Because this appears to be one of the critical focus areas of this administration.
Essentially, the strategic importance, like you said, of viable transportation network is that it promotes economic growth and development by ensuring the movement of goods and services from point of production to that of consumption. Where you have transport systems that are efficient, it has been proven that they provide both economic and social opportunities and benefits that result in positive multiplier effects such as better accessibility to markets, employment opportunities, and additional investments.
Okay. For road users, the ongoing construction is a bittersweet experience. New roads are a breath of fresh air. But the question has been asked, couldn't alternative roads have been constructed to ease the congestion? Isn't that supposed to be an integral part of the construction process?
You see, one thing about human nature, particularly the Nigerian mind, is that we are so used to being in our comfort zones. People do not like change. People do not like to explore new opportunities. It is not true that there are no alternative routes while these constructions are ongoing. I give you an instance. Not up to 10% usage of the ring road linking the Bauchi ring road up to Mararaban Jama'a is utilized. Why? Because people, rather than going through the ring roads, would prefer to go through Bauchi road terminus before they get through to Yakubu Gawan Way and to the Mararaban Jama'a. Unknown to them, there's an alternative, a smoother route that links you directly, if you're coming from the northeast of the country, through Rayfield back to Mararaban Jama'a. Like I said, our people are used to being in the comfort zone.
And we understand that we need new roads and better roads, but other roads like the Tudunwada Ring Road to Domkat are riddled with potholes, and these are the alternative routes that we use.
You don't forget that government is saddled with a lot of responsibilities. There are demanding priorities. It's all a question of which one comes first.
Okay, how about working at night? Will that free up the roads and enable construction to proceed without the congestion caused by the unavoidable vehicular movement encountered during the day?
You see, for every project, there are costs and there are benefits. Don't forget that most of these constructions ongoing right now particularly happen within the residential neighborhoods. You can imagine a situation where in the middle of the night, while after a hard day's work, you are resting and all you are saddled with is the sound of machinery. I mean, it doesn't add up. So there has to be respect for human dignity, and the noise, the pollution that goes with that comes with construction at night is being avoided.
Okay, what are the other critical focus areas of town planning which this administration has embarked on, which is not as obvious as construction projects?
The major one is the greater Jos Master Plan, followed by the Plateau Geographic Information Systems, followed by the street naming and house numbering. These are very salient but critical achievements within the town planning aspect
Well,
of
I've
this
seen some
administration.
street naming, but house numbering, not seen that at all.
You won't see it now because we are still in the works.
Okay.
We're still in the works. With the set of updated maps we have, everything is done aerially. Very soon, you'll get to see the results.
All right. Obviously, the decisions to focus on these areas were not random. What are some of the considerations which led to government focusing its attention on these other aspects and areas of town planning?
You might recall that this administration, I think, came up with a 10-point agenda. And in its 10-point agenda, item number 9 has to do with good urban governance, with a view to sustaining the environment, not for now, but for future generation. So that is why the emphasis is there. The master plan, for instance, is so clear. The geographic information system, now we are doing land administration with precision and automation.
Okay.
It's no longer speculative.
All right. Interesting. We have been talking to Mr. Solomon Hoomlong, Director of Lands at the Plateau State Minister of Land Survey and Town Planning. We'll go on a commercial break. Stay with us.
Brightex white detergent, Brightex. Brightex white detergent, Brightex. For your brightest wash, Brightex. For your brightest wash, Brightex.
Ever since I discovered the secret of Brightex white detergent, my clothes come fresh, bright and clean always. It's mild on clothes and good for my washing machine. Thank you, Brightex.
Brightex detergent cleans deep stains and dirt from your clothes, keeping it fresh and bright so your clothes don't fade. It lasts longer. Brightex white detergent, a quality product from NASCO. Take the Brightex advantage today and keep your clothes fresh, bright and clean.
For your brightest wash, Brightex.
Brightex, for the brightest wash.
Thanks for staying with us. This is the NASCO Moments radio talk show, and today we are discussing urban development. Our guest is Mr. Solomon Hoomlong, Director of Lands, Plateau State Minister of Lands Survey and Town Planning. In this segment, we would like to focus our attention a little more on the much talked about Jos Master Plan. To begin with, how old is this plan and who conceived it?
We're in the year 2014 now.
Yes.
So the master plan is about 6 years now. It's an idea conceived and is being implemented by the present administration.
Okay. There have been significant changes since the design of this plan. Population increase, sprawling residential and commercial real estate, and all kinds of changes. So how relevant is this master plan in 2014?
So very relevant. It was initiated in 2008 and is supposed to last up to the year 2025. Between this period, it is revisable after every 5 years.
Okay.
So it is still very, very relevant. In fact, as I talk to you right now, the laws that will give it the much needed bite is in the works.
Okay.
So that once the law has been passed through, if it becomes very legal, then implementation will commence.
Okay, how soon do we expect this law to be passed? Before the administration leaves or subsequently?
Hopefully, before the end of this administration.
Okay. Could you tell us some of the main features of the plan? What are some of the projects we expect to see when the plan is completed?
To start with, the planning area has been zoned into 10 areas, 10 sectors we call them. And it covers all of Jos North, Jos South, some parts of Bassa, and the local government areas within the Plateau North Senatorial District.
Okay.
That is the idea. And the essence is to harmonize the land uses within this planning area. Like I said earlier on, with a view to sustaining land use in such a way that our current usage of land resources do not jeopardize posterity. I mean, generations to come after us. 70% of this master plan has been targeted at housing. There is also the issue of new accesses, which you can bear me witness to. New roads being made all over the place. They are not just made in random. There is a plan for them because of the projection. Recently, if you've been through Ericos area, you know, there are elements of slum upgrade around there by the construction of that linkage between Ricos and behind the Gangare area.
Okay.
And then a novel element of this master plan is the participation of private organizations and even NGOs. If it might also interest you to know that the master plan is not just modernizing land usage to bring it up to international standard. No. There are some key elements of our customary heritages that are being maintained in their state.
So we don't lose all that.
So that we don't lose everything.
Okay, you've talked about housing. What do we expect in terms of utilities, tourism, entertainment, and so forth?
The master plan is a design that encompasses every activity of man as far as the use of land resources is concerned. I have just given an instance in the area of housing. I also gave you an instance in the area of the retention of our cultural heritages.
Yes.
It's not as if that I've mentioned these two does not mean other land uses they are not brought to prominence. No. For as long as man benefits from any kind of legitimate use of land, the master plan has adequately captured it.
Okay, you said the timeline for the completion of this plan is 2025. Was it 2022 you said? 2025. Okay, how is the plan? Do you have, let's say for 5 years you do this, or the next 10 years you do that. How do you plan this to get to 2025?
Yeah, it has been done in phases. It has been done it's a very detailed document. There has been, for every sector, what activity is supposed to take place at a particular point in time is listed in the plan. Land governance is a continuum. So after this administration, if the next government, maybe in the year 2025, like I said, feels there's a need to review it, they will dust it up and then review it. This master plan is a harbinger to the one we inherited from the administration of the late J.D. Gomwalk.
Okay.
So it's just an improvement.
How well have you followed the plan so far? Would you say you're going according to what the plan says?
Yes, not minding the challenges. The plan is working.
All right.
What we need essentially is just for that thing to become law, and then you begin to see physically the benefits of the plan.
All right, so we're expecting it. It's very critical for it to become law.
Yes.
And that's something that we're still expecting to happen. This is the NASCO Moments radio talk show. We'll take another commercial break. Then we'll announce the winner of the NASCO Trivia when we return.
For whatever flavor you may need, so crunchy and so creamy. It's oven fresh and tasty for the young and everybody. Take a bite and get the feeling that you get what you need. For everybody, take it everywhere you go. Grab the taste of quality. Everybody say NASCO. For everybody, whatever flavor you may need, take it everywhere you go. Everybody say NASCO.
Get a range from NASCO biscuits today. NASCO cream biscuits, NASCO shortcake biscuits, NASCO cream crackers, NASCO biscuits, the king of biscuits.
Welcome back to NASCO Moments. Last week, we asked audiences to describe the features of NASCO's logo. As you know, the NASCO logo is an iconic symbol. It comprises a red crown with the word NASCO boldly written under the crown with capital letters in blue, with the letter S underlined in red. To win, you would have had to mention all of these features. And we are glad to announce that Clementina from Can Ricos is the winner of the NASCO logo trivia. Congratulations, Clementina. You have just won an assorted gift pack courtesy of our good friends from NASCO. Visit Unimark Limited, number 20 New Zaria Terrace off New Crescent Hospital to collect your prize. You can also call 0805 481 2947 for more information. I'll give you the address and the number again, number 20 New Zaria Terrace off New Crescent Hospital to collect your prize. You may also call 0805 481 2947 just in case you get lost. All right. This week, the question is, NASCO started its operations with the establishment of a jute bag factory here in Jos. Is this true or false? NASCO started its operations with the establishment of a jute bag factory here in the city of Jos. Is this true or false? Text true or false to 0805 774 7777. The number again is 0805 774 7777. Text true or false. Don't forget to include your name and address when you send your answer. And please note that this competition is not open to NASCO staff and relatives. This is the final segment of today's show, and we have been talking to Solomon Hoomlong, the Director of Lands, Plateau State Minister of Land Survey and Town Planning. To effectively execute the Jos Master Plan requires seamless collaboration between several government ministries and agencies, including the Ministries of Housing and Urban Development, Land Survey and Town Planning, Works, Environment, JMDB, PEPSA, and so on. How have these organs of government been restructured to handle this critical task of executing the master plan, given the enormity and complexity of the work involved?
Statutory in place is the government organ saddled with land policy called the Land Use and Allocation Committee. As a matter of fact, that committee has sat down and has looked at the rules and has clearly also delineated these rules of the relevant organs in the implementation of the Jos Master Plan. For instance, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is saddled with all policies that will have to do with housing. Ministry of Lands and Survey is saddled with the issues of land registration and titulation. JMDB will soon metamorphose into a much bigger organization. I think something called the Plateau State Urban Development Authority. Okay. And these rules are clearly defined. Like I said, it is only in the works. When it becomes law, then you will see.
So are you saying that you do not work together? Everybody has his own duties separately?
Not at all. There has been a redefinition of the rules to take care of contemporary events. You know, every day new challenges arise, and these challenges have to be tackled headlong.
Okay. Development is capital intensive, particularly infrastructural development, which constitutes the greater part of our development programs. In terms of their economic effect, how are these projects perceived to impact and stimulate the economy in terms of employment opportunities, positive business effects, industrialization, and so on?
Let me use the instance of the Plateau Geographic Information System to highlight some of the anticipated benefits of these developments. Before now, our land documentation processes were manually executed. But I can tell you with all sense of pride that the entirety of the state has been updated map-wise. The maps which were in place before now were those we inherited in 1963.
Wow.
In place right now is a very current online maps. What this translates to is that in the process of your land documentation, the issue of precision, the issue of security are guaranteed. And the financial institutions require nothing more than bankable documents. If there is confidence in our documents, of course there will be a boom in the banking sector.
How does all this translate into employment and
I am coming to that. Businesses thrive on capital. Everything, we're in a capitalist world, everything right now has to do with money. One sure way for a businessman to obtain a facility is if he has a bankable document. And I tell you, our processes have been compressed. Once it becomes effective, once it becomes law, I'm talking about the pledges upgrade now, within a matter of max 10 days, you'll be issued with a certificate of occupancy.
Okay.
What more will a businessman desire than that? If businesses thrive, opportunities open up. When opportunities open up, our jobless youths are taking off the streets.
All right. Governments currently rely on the public-private partnership model to fund projects. In our own case, public funding comprises federal allocations, internally generated revenue from the Plateau State Internal Revenue Service, and to a larger or lesser degree, contributions from SHRP. What are some of the initiatives the government has taken to attract private participation towards development?
In my earlier submission, I had said to you that one of the key features of the Jos Master Plan is the incorporation of the private sector in the implementation of the tenets of the Master Plan. In fact, as I talk to you right now, government is in partnership with about 3 or 4 private organizations in the field of housing delivery. I'm talking specifically about ABC shelters, who are saddled with the responsibility of constructing 3,000 housing units around the Mararaban Jama'a area. We also have the Fedup housing estate, which was recently commissioned by His Excellency, that they have a target of about 1,000 housing units. So you see, we have brought in the private sector because we have realized that initiatives best strive when they are privately handled.
All right. Today we have been discussing urban development. Our guest has been Mr. Solomon Hoomlong, Director of Lands, Plateau State Minister of Land Survey and Town Planning. Thank you for being on the program.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
It's been 13 weeks since the NASCO Moments radio talk show first aired on this station. In this time, we've had a host of memorable guests, and we have looked at some of the most touching subjects that affect us all. And just as we had promised from day one, the show has been an interesting expedition where we got to rediscover, relearn, and understand our environment. And for many, it was an opportunity to explore the very ideals that make us who we are. Today wraps up the first season of the NASCO Moments radio show. It's been a remarkable journey, and we're happy to have been here for you, our wonderful audience within and around the city of Jos. Have you been one of our weekly listeners? Then go to our Facebook page and leave a comment regarding how the show has been impactful to you. Your input is very valuable to us, so kindly share your thoughts about how we can make the show better for you. The address is www.facebook.com/NASCO Group. Before we come your way again, remember to stay in touch with your favorite household brand. Visit www.nasco.net and follow us on Twitter @NASCO Group. Remember, NASCO is still running a competition on its Facebook page, www.facebook.com/NASCO Group. We've been telling you that all you have to do is like the page, make valuable contributions, and follow the instructions that have been provided, and you can win an iPad, a Samsung S5, HTC Dual SIM phone, and lots of recharge cards. We continue to urge you to join the campaign to keep our dear city free from Ebola. Get the right information and spread only the right information. Observe basic preventive measures such as washing your hands under running water with soap. Remember, we have a responsibility to stop the spread of the virus, so let's all join in the fight. It's been a wonderful first season, and we thank you for staying tuned. The NASCO Moments show has been brought to you by NASCO, and it was created by Unimark Limited Marketing Communication Consultants. Executive producers, NASCO Marketing Department. Producers, Harun Audu and Joshua Tongman. And I am your host, Budum Gang. The NASCO Moments show has been brought to you by NASCO, providing a quality life.